sometimes just simply putting on a tire is hard for people, but I've been racing so long that you kind of know the ergonomics. Ergonomics meaning what muscles to use, what type of, these are coarse threads, and they're pretty cool. So I'm gonna, I used to be a tire changer. Actually, come here, I gotta show you something. 1984, Daytona 500. Look at that. There I am coming around the right front. So that was 1984. The driver was Joe Ruttman, and Levi Garrett was the sponsor. Sorry, every time I hit him, I'm like, I know how to do that.
Were you very fast at that?
I was good enough. I was going to say more, but it was just that, I didn't start racing until 22 years old because I'm a fabricator mechanic first, I built race cars. People ask me all the time, you're almost 60 years old. Why do you do this? Well, listen, I know people that just make stuff out of wood. I know woodworkers. I'm like, well, why do you make stuff out of wood? They love it. So I love racing. We're backing it way down this year. We're only going to run 30 races. Like I said, when we get to the racetrack, we'll use a torque wrench and we'll torque these. And I torque mine at 70. And 70 seems to work. Now in the Cup Series, when we ran, the 5 lug nuts, I think we torqued them at what, 90, 100? Something like that.
Did you like being a tire changer?
Yes. I was the crew chief and the tire changer. So in 1984, you had to do it all. You see Jeff Hammond, myself, we ended up on Fox TV, Larry McReynolds. Basically, TV's got really good people nowadays that have been there, done that. So Jeff was a crew chief for the great owner, Junior Johnson. His driver was Darrell Waltrip, and Jeff was a jack man. Well, my point is this: back in those days, you had to do 5 jobs. Nowadays, there's more money in the sport, and there's specialties. They fly the team in. This team's being flown in on this Sunday. All they're gonna do is change tires. Now, Ray Evernham started that. So, I missed one. Yeah, what happened was when Jeff Gordon came along, he was good already, but then Evernham was an innovator. And Evernham said, we're going to pick the pace up. We're going to make sure if Jeff's ever running 3rd or 5th, he comes out of the pits first. So what Evernham started doing was hiring ex-hockey players, ex-football players, and it was Hendrick Motorsport that started training pit crews. Years ago, the pit crew was me. I drive the truck, change the motor, call the race, and change the tires as I showed that picture. Now things are, listen, the more you live, everything gets better. Everything's more perfect. It's just the way life is. I'm not complaining. It's much nicer. So nowadays, the pit crew team will arrive maybe 5 hours before the race on a big jet. That way they're all rested up. So they come in, they're all rested up, and their job, and they get paid and they get bonuses. The better you do, the more money. It's no different than NFL. You kick the football, and if the guy can run it back past the 20, he gets a bonus. And I know that because I knew Jerry Glanville, who used to be coach of was it Atlanta
Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons, Jerry Glanville. So I went down, and Jerry wanted to race. So I knew him, and I went to their training camp, and he showed me the way those football players make bonuses. It's the same way we do it here. the better you do, the more money you make.
From Toledo, Ohio.
Is he? Jerry Glanville, that dude was incredible. Jerry talked so crazy. Now I like him, but he said to me, he says, well, I want to run this race here. That'll be my last one. If I break my leg, it gives me time to get healed up to be the coach for the Atlanta Falcons. I thought, oh my, you're crazy. We don't ever think about, you know, we hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But Glanville was, he was something else. I'll be honest with you. I do better on the racetrack when I do a lot of this stuff myself. That way I know what the hell I got, you know. Now you can't do this in NASCAR because it's too competitive. I mean, this stuff's crazy competitive. I mean, it goes back to the old saying Dale Earnhardt Sr. taught me. I mean, Earnhardt used to do this. This is where Earnhardt come from. Metrolina Speedway, Carolina Speedway, dirt racing. So we've won 106 dirt races. It's the lower shelves. Or no, this is all my NASCAR trophies. The dirt races. But here's my most prideful wins. These are the hard ones. So this right here, yeah, these are the hard ones. When you get down to these trophies here, these are hardcore wins. What that means is most of these trophies on the bottom shelf, like 100 cars showed up. And you had to win those races. So yeah. Okay, now I bought this jack at Harbor Freight. This is one of my favorite jacks. I like this jack a lot because it's got good wheels on it. And I'm gonna let the car down. And this alone is a little scary. Don't let nobody ever tell you, hey, you're always concerned. So I do everything, I'll let you know a little bit about, I'll let you more than you should know. So I do everything with my left hand because I've got 2 torn tendons in this one, and I've done rehab, so I favor my left arm now. Now I'm doing everything right now the same way I would normally do it. So this is pretty tedious here. You got to make sure that you don't make sure this thing's right. I know I'm doing it with my right arm. So when I let the car down, the first thing I do is look at it, see if it looked right. So yeah, I just want to make sure everything's right. Sometimes you can tell if a car's out of whack if it doesn't sit the way you're used to it sitting.